Welcome to Rob's Artcade. I'm your host Rob, and I'm coming to you from the arcade once again with another fun and informative art class. After the class, we'll take a visit to the Classic Game Showcase where I'll show all of my Player 2s, one of my favorite old school video games. Now today's episode of the art class is going to be very interesting because I'm going to show all of my Player 2s how just a few simple lines can drastically change a drawing. Here's today's topic. That's right, the topic of this episode is Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Now I'm going to show all of my Player 2s how to transform Mickey into Minnie with just a few simple lines. Now I know you can't wait to get started, but let's make sure we have all our supplies ready first. We need a piece of paper, a pencil, an eraser, and a black felt tip pen or a black magic marker to ink over our finished work. Now let's not waste any more time, let's get right to it. For all my first time Player 2s out there, I'm going to briefly explain the process how we're going to draw Mickey and Minnie today. It's a three-step process. The first step is the guideline step. I'll be drawing in red on this dry erase board. When I draw in red, I want you to press very lightly with your pencils. We're going to go back in, we're going to erase all these lines later. The next step, I'll go with the blue. When I draw in blue, press a little harder with your pencil, but still not too hard because we're going to erase these lines too. In this step, we're going to start adding more details and fleshing out the drawing a little bit more. And finally, the final step, take your black felt tip pen or black magic marker and we're going to ink over only the lines that we need. Not the guidelines, just basically the lines that are going to complete our finished drawing. When we're done with that, we're going to take our eraser, we're going to go in here and erase all the pencil lines, and then we're going to have our finished drawing. Sounds pretty easy, right? Let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle right in the middle of the paper. Alright, make sure that you're leaving some room because we're going to have to draw the ears up here momentarily. When we're done with the circle, we're going to very lightly, again when I draw in red, very lightly with the pencil, draw a guideline right through the middle of the image. This is going to help us keep both halves even when we start adding more details. After that, starting right about here, the same size, two circles. There we go. So far so good, right? Now remember, if your drawing doesn't look exactly like mine, don't get discouraged, it's okay. You're teaching yourselves how to draw a different way. So it's going to take some time to have everything look the way that you want it to. Just keep practicing and we'll eventually get there. But right now you should have something that looks like this. The next step, we're going to draw a guideline very lightly again, right through about there. Then, an oval. Now you can already see that the image is starting to take shape. We have the ears and the nose. Above the nose, kind of following the line from the oval, we're going to start about here and just do a little curve there. When we're done with that, we're going to draw a smile. Curve, we're going to try to make it entirely even. And then you're going to have two backward letter C, frontward little c. Followed by that, kind of like a letter U. When you bring it around, you're going to go down through the bottom of your image, up around and have it connect here. And then you're just going to draw the tongue really quick, again a half circle. Now if I'm going too fast or if you guys need to rewind it, feel free to pause the video, go back and make sure that you're doing all the steps the right way. If you miss a step along the way, your drawing is eventually going to look a little awkward, so just make sure that you're keeping up. If I'm going too fast, feel free to pause it. Next step, we're going to draw two ovals for the eyes. Starting right about here, 1, 2. And we have these guidelines here that are going to help keep everything in the right place. Inside, 1, 2. We're going to draw a little curve right underneath here for the mouth. And then starting right about here, I'm just doing a little X just to show you where to go. Right about there, you're going to bring it around and out. We're going to break the plane of the original guideline here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, try to make everything even. That's why we put the guidelines here, just to break everything down. Remember, we're pressing very lightly with our pencils. From that point, starting right here, we're going to follow this around like this, stopping right about there. And then the same thing on the other side. Now, as you can see, we have a completed Mickey Mouse picture right here. All we're going to have to do is just ink over it, clean it up a little bit, and erase the guidelines. Remember, we're drawing very lightly in this stage. So what I'm going to do is we're going to turn this into Minnie. Very, very easy. Guideline stage. Still press lightly with your pencils. You're just going to add 1, 2, 3 curves. 1, 2, 3 curves. So to add the eyelashes to make the Mickey image more feminine. Next, starting at the top of the head where we drew that guideline, we're going to draw a circle. And then 2 kind of triangles with rounded edges. Remember, we're drawing right through because these are guidelines. We're going to erase these lines. So there you go. You have Minnie. We'll add a little curve here, and a line here, and a line here, and a line here to add a little bit of detail to the bow. There's Minnie. So now I'm going to go to the blue, and we're going to start fleshing the drawing out. Now with the guidelines, we already pretty much have a completed image. So with this, you can choose whether you want to draw Mickey or Minnie. So I'm going to trace over everything. Again, we're very lightly with our pencils and stuff. Not very lightly, but a little bit darker than what we originally did, just so we can see the lines. Again, we're going to have to go back and we're going to erase all these lines. So I traced over the nose and the mouth, the jaw, the cheeks, the eyes, eyeballs. Okay, this is where you can choose whether you want to have a Mickey or Minnie image. I'm going to trace over everything, so we're going to do Mickey on this one. But if you want to, we're going to do Minnie on this one. If you wanted to do just Mickey, all you have to do is go over everything except for the guidelines that we did for Minnie. So you just don't have to do the eyelashes and the bow. So this shows how just a simple little change can take a male drawing and make it feminine. So I'm going to go over the rest of the stuff here. If you were doing just Mickey, you would go over the top of the head and just do the ears. But since we're going to do Minnie, eyelashes, bow, and ears. Then just the tongue. And there you go. Step 2 is complete. Again, if your image doesn't look exactly like this, that's fine. Okay, it doesn't have to look exactly like it. As long as you're following the steps, you should have something close. Again, it takes practice to get to this point, so keep practicing. From what I've seen from the artwork that you guys are putting out there, my player 2s are doing an amazing job. I'm very, very proud of the work that I've seen. So we're going to start inking over this. Again, if you're going to do Mickey Mouse, don't go over the eyelashes or the bow. But if you're going to do Minnie, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the cheeks. Inside the mouth, this will be black. The nose we're going to add a little circle right here. This is called a highlight. I'm going to trace over like that. Over the nose, cheeks, the eyes, now on a side note, my microphone picks up every noise that happens here in the Artcade. Every button click, every pencil stroke, everything. So if you hear a weird noise, that is my stomach growling. I am starving right now. I can't wait to eat something after this. Maybe some Mickey Mouse pancakes. That sounds pretty good. We're going to do a highlight here in the eye. And then another highlight right here. I'm going to color that in. Again, if you're just doing Mickey, don't worry about this step. Just wait a second. We'll get to the ears. But if you're doing Minnie, eyelashes, bow, ears. There's my stomach rumbling again. And then we're going to finish coloring this. I'm going to do it very, very roughly because I don't want to end up smearing the marker all over the place, but that's black. The ears are all black. And there you have it. You just drew Mickey and or Minnie Mouse. Again, just a few simple changes. All we did was just add some eyelashes and a bow, and we completely transformed Mickey into Minnie. I can't wait to see what you guys did with this. I'm sure you guys did an amazing job. Awesome job, Player 2s. Now be sure to give your picture a few minutes for the ink to dry, then take your eraser and erase all the stray pencil lines. Then you'll have a finished picture. Also be sure to take a photo of yourself holding your picture and send it to me at the social media links listed in the description below so I can put it in the Player 2 art showcase. I love seeing your completed art. But now, let's do something a little different. Let's take a trip to the Classic Game Showcase.
This episode's entry into the Classic Game Showcase is none other than Mickey Mania for the Sega CD. In this game, released in 1994, the player controls Mickey Mouse as he navigates through various side-scrolling levels based on classic Mickey Mouse cartoons. Mickey can attack enemies by either jumping on them or by using a limited supply of marbles, which are collected throughout the level. Mickey can withstand up to 5 hits, represented by the fingers he holds up on his hand. Damage can be replenished by collecting stars, while extra lives can be gained by finding Mickey hats. Levels offer a variety of puzzles and challenges that the player must solve, such as escaping from a rampaging moose and fleeing from a flaming staircase. Mickey fans will be able to experience levels based on such classic Mickey Mouse cartoons such as Steamboat Willie, The Mad Doctor, Mickey and the Beanstalk, and many more. Oh, and here's a little bit of trivia about this game. It was originally planned to be released to coincide with Mickey's 65th birthday in 1993, but that plan was scrapped because developers would only have 6 months to develop the game. Mickey Mania was also released for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, but due to the limitations of these systems, some sections had to be omitted. The Super Nintendo version is missing the hidden band concert level, as well as the staircase sequence from the Mad Doctor level, and the Genesis level lacks the hidden area near the end of the first stage. Also, since the Sega CD is a system with compact disc digital audio as opposed to a cartridge, the Sega CD has additional voice samples and a CD quality soundtrack. Mickey Mania was also ported to the Sony PlayStation in 1996 with the new title Mickey's Wild Adventure. This version contains enhanced graphics and sound, as well as an extra sequence at the end of the Mickey and the Beanstalk level. This game is a must for fans of classic Disney animation, and it pays a wonderful tribute to Mickey's early cartoon career. Highly recommended. Till next time.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Rob's Arcade. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow. Also be sure to follow Rob's Arcade on the social media links listed in the description below. Patreon subscribers, I've got some great things in store for you all in the next few weeks, so keep your eye on that space for more information. Now, the next episode, you all are going to love this one. This is a special treat for my player 2s. I mean, who doesn't love a fry cook who lives in a pineapple under the sea? I'm sure you guys can figure that one out. Until next time, thanks for stopping at Rob's Arcade.